Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Francois. Do not judge him for his beautiful appearance, for the beautiful face that he was blessed with, for the beautiful wings that help him fly into the realm of happiness we all wish to reach one day. No, don't judge him for that, but for the love that he has in his heart. For you, for me, for all of us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Francois, the beautiful Skeleteddy. And I love him. Hopefully he'll learn to love me one day. And yeah, that'll be swell. Good morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Tim Spence, also known as your host, Trusted Troublemaker. For those of you who do know, welcome back. Nice to see you all again. No, it's only been a week, but hey, here we are. Still trucking. So this morning, I'm going to try and be brief. I want to talk about a trend or circle that I have noticed between reality and disappointment. So in a way, this is going to kind of be how to deal with disappointment and how to accept reality. Because I kind of think the two go hand in hand. To kind of just jump into it, for me, I can tell you, if you have issues dealing with disappointment, from my personal experience, the last thing you want to do is throw a pity party for yourself. You know, that whole woe is me, that whole like, oh, my life, like, no, I don't, I just can't do it. Because for me, I decided that because I felt disappointed with my life, that I was going to go on a 3-year substance abuse bender. Now, the reality of that is that the moment that I decided to stop, or if I didn't stop, I was going to die. If I did stop, and because I did stop, my body's like, hey, you can't just do that for that length of time and then stop because, like, you know, we like to party too. And we're going to let you know when we want to party. And if you don't want to cooperate with that, the reality is we're going to make you suffer. Mentally and physically, we're going to make you suffer. And you can't tell anybody about it because they'll look at you funny. You know, or you have things that you want to do, but because of bad experiences throughout your life, you hold off, or you delay, or you just say, no, I'm going to do something else because that's either too hard or too scary. I get you disappointed and people let you down, or people shut you down on what you wanted to do or your goals and ambitions. So you just step away from that and you try to take either the easier route or the less painful route or whatever. But the reality is, you could be 70 years old and realize, wow, I didn't do anything I want to do with my life. And I don't think that's a good time to get a dose of that reality. Now, me and my buddy I talk to every day, we refer to reality as if it's a living, breathing entity. You know, almost kind of like death in Final Destination. Like, reality is like that person that, you know, you've been getting away with something for a lengthy period of time, and then he, like, bust in the room and say, hey, I know what you're doing. And it's like, wait, no, you're not supposed to know. And it's like, well, he not only, like, punishes you for what you did, he makes you watch what you did. Like, this is a whole video reel of all the nonsense that you've been doing for however long you've been doing it. And see, the funny thing about the pattern I've noticed with disappointment and reality is that it works the same the other way. Is that your reality can lead you to be disappointed. You know, that's how you got there in the first place, is that you have had experiences in your reality, in the life that you live, that have caused you to become apathetic, unmotivated, just deterred from doing certain things because it's to your understanding that when you try in life, or when you open yourself to people or things that you think are positive, that you're going to be let down. You even believe that because of the mistakes you made, you're going to let yourself down. And so ultimately, because of that thinking, based on your experiences, you're left disappointed. So ultimately, the cycle continues over and over again. Your reality leads you to be disappointed. You're disappointed. Your disappointment causes you to do things that ultimately force you to see reality. So how do you break the cycle? Well, initially, when we're disappointed, or reality disappoints us, we react to it based on how we've been raised, what we've been taught, what makes sense to us. And it often causes us to go in a certain direction. Sometimes we go in that direction over and over and over and over again. And it's like, you need to detect that. For me, it's like, I know when I get upset. I know when I get disappointed, when my feelings or my emotions aren't the way I want them to be. I know how I'm going to get. But see, being aware of that and understanding who you are as a person and how you react to things, you can somewhat control that pattern. You know, if you're the type of person, you get upset and you eat like 5 tubs of ice cream, but okay, I'm going to get upset and this is what I'm going to want to do. Like, I think the moment you become aware of that, if let's say it's not a good thing, like, you get upset and you draw, like, you make like 5 paintings, like it's a constructive way to, respond to your issues. That's really constructive. I wish I could do that. But like, if you know how you get or how you are when it comes to things, I think you almost owe it to yourself to try and make a positive, like, create a positive routine to that, because what doing the worst things in response to disappointment is going to get you. You know that. So I think once you've discovered your routine, it's going to become easier for you to begin to make little changes. And I'm not saying you got to just stop doing what you're doing, because like I said, I know I know it's not that simple. I know. I'm living with it every day. I know it's not that simple. But at the same time, you have to try little things, especially if you say, I don't want every time I get upset that I you know, run into a brick wall. Like I don't want that to be like how. So like next time, okay, you're gonna run into a brick wall. You go through like something and your reality happens, it leaves you disappointed. You run into a brick wall. Okay, let's start off small. Next time, maybe jog into a brick wall. Yeah, jog into it. Then just take a full on sprint and you're like, ah, bang, like this, just kind of like, oh, I'm just going lightly. I'm just going to take a little bounce step into this brick wall here, more like that. And then we get to walking into a wall, and then maybe crawling or like slightly stepping into the wall. We kind of just brush it. This you gotta ease yourself off of it. Ease yourself off of that because especially if you've been doing something for so long, you just kind of know in your head like I have to do it this way. This is my response, and it's like no, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You're only doing that because that's what you're used to doing based on how your life has gone so far. But I think the thing like with disappointment, it's so devastating sometimes. We underestimate the power of disappointment. It's so, like just to have these hopes and expectations and all of that is just shattered. But what I've learned in life, especially, it's like when you grow up, you become an adult and you think like, oh, when I'm an adult, this or this is going to happen. Like some magic wand is going to be like poof. And then there you are. Like when you grow up and then you realize that half the adults in your life didn't know what they were talking about or had no clue on what they were showing you. And that kind of lets you like put things into perspective. It's like, okay, when they got disappointed or upset, like they reacted this way. And I thought like this, nah, you got to find out what works for you. Maybe because for mommy and daddy taking 10 Prozac, after they get laid off a day might have worked for them. But it might not work for you. You might do that and go in cardiac arrest. I mean, you got to think about it. Like you have to look at yourself and understand yourself. And also like dealing with your reality, you have to ask some questions there. Because some would argue your reality is whatever you make it. And if that's the case, you have to understand like what is it about me that causes my reality to be this way? That causes my surroundings to operate the way that they do. What am I attracting? What image am I giving off? What message am I representing when people come around me that causes them to act the way that they do or causes me to get into the circumstances that I get in? And a lot of things don't happen for a lot of people. And you could argue that that's their reality. But at the same time, some people don't make certain decisions. Like a lot of things that I've experienced in my life, there are a lot of people who aren't going to go through that because they wouldn't be caught dead doing the things that I was doing. I mean, there are people who will. And some of the people who will, they might not go as hard as I went for all the wrong things. They might be like, they might dabble in this and that and be like, oh, no. I mean, that's fine once in a while, but that's, I can't do that all the time. That's not for me. And that's because, they see themselves differently than I did. And like now, I see where I want my life to go. I see the direction that I want to take things and how I want to help people cope with their issues. And I can't do that if every time I get disappointed, I react this way, because the reality is, if I continue to react that way when I get disappointed, I won't be in any type of condition to help anybody. And therefore, I have to alter my cycle. So I guess that's what I'm trying to get to here, is that reality and disappointment are a vicious cycle that go round and round and round, however long you let it. If you want the cycle to continue, just keep on doing what you're doing. If you want to break it, you have to identify, like I said, why do those things disappoint you? What is it about those things that makes you feel this way? And how do you keep yourself from being disappointed in certain aspects that would make you react most negatively? You know, like, because disappointment, and that's another thing, disappointment is a reality. The reality of life is that you're going to be disappointed at some point. At some point, like, and part of that is on us, everybody, as individuals, to accept, like, okay, this disappointment thing, this is something I have to live with. Nobody's going to come and change it. Nobody's going to make it better or make it stop. Like, this is what it is. And you have to say, do I want to allow disappointment to affect my reality? Is that what I want to happen every single time? If not, then you have to change your reality. You have to put yourself in a better position that your everyday life, what you go through, certain factors you don't even have to worry about. I mean, it's like being disappointed and being broke. Like, like, that's a bad combination, because you're liable to do anything in that circumstance. Like, because disappointed and being like financially stable, okay, that sucks, but hey, I can afford everything I need, so really don't have a whole lot to complain about. Like, just thinking about it like that, it's like you want your reality to be as ideal as possible, so that you can be prepared for disappointment, so that disappointment does not have as much of a drastic drain on you mentally. Because I believe between disappointment and reality, your mind is in the middle. It's right in the middle. And it gets caught in the battle between these two, and it takes a lot of toll on your psyche, on your stability, on your willingness to actively participate in society. Like, I get it. I understand. I like I said, I deal with this every day of my life. And all I can suggest is that you find out what the factors are that are defining the two for you. And you get to a point where you can adjust and feel as though you have control over what disappoints you, or how you're disappointed, or being in circumstances that leave you disappointed, and then how your reality operates. And that somewhere in between, you're able to like balance the two. I'm not going to say control. You'll never be able to control either of those fully anyway. You might be able to dictate certain things, but like, you want to be able to be in balance. You want to always be in control of yourself, no matter what the circumstances are. And once you've gotten that might make things just a little bit easier. And I know I'm saying this, but folks, I also have to practice what I preach. Because sometimes life catches you off guard, you get caught up in the moment, and you just forget. Like, it's just, you want to react to things, and it's like, no, because the reality is, you keep reacting the way that you do, it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. You know, you want to crash, bang, boom. You want to throw stuff because you feel disappointed. The reality is, you just got to clean it all back up. So take all that energy and frustration out on something that might make you some money, that doesn't involve robbing and pillaging, you know, like something like that. Use that energy to find something constructive that's going to make you money. That's what I say, because I don't want you saying like, oh, Tim said I need to go out and rob somebody. No, I didn't. No, that's not what I said. But I hope that helps some of you understand a little bit, you know, about identifying the cycle that I see. And I don't know if you see it that way, but maybe it's just something to think about, you know, just if you feel like you're stuck and like, oh, this happens and I do this happens. That's all I'm trying to get at, you know, just finding better ways for us to react to what life throws at us, because it always is, you know, and we just gotta keep fighting. Giving up is not an option. It's not. It's not. It's not. Because you are a human being and you are relevant. You have a purpose. And I can say till I'm blue in the face that I love you, I care about you, I acknowledge everything that you have to offer. But it doesn't matter until you believe it. Until you make that your reality and say, I'm no longer going to disappoint myself by not believing in who I am or what I'm capable of. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to make my reality that I am somebody who is going to accomplish something in this life. And maybe then the cycle can start to stop. But that's all for me this morning, folks. I hope you all have a good weekend. I may or may not make some videos this weekend. It depends on how I feel. Maybe when I come back home, I might do something wacky. We'll see. But once again, my name is Tim Spence, Trusted Troublemaker. My IG is Trusted Troublemaker. My Snapchat is Trust for Trouble. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, so you can see the rest of my videos in the future, or the ones that I have already made. And I hope that something I do appeals to you and you can relate it to your life, and hopefully it can help you out with whatever you're going through, or you just want to laugh at me, laugh at the old clown McChuckles. That's fine too. I am here for your entertainment, and I love you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the future. But as always, trust me to trouble you.